Let me know if you can hear me now. All right, thank you so much. The guest is gonna be joining in shortly. They're having a bit of a technical challenge, so we're just gonna wait for them for a few minutes. Just to get the ball rolling, how many of you have heard about MlimiPay before? Or how many of you know any tech advancements that are being used in agriculture in Malawi at the moment? You can comment in the comments. Just leave a comment in the comments if you have a response. Okay, we have one guest that either knows about MlimiPay or has used or knows about any technology advancements in agriculture in Malawi at the moment. Anyone else? Okay, someone says it's their first time hearing about this, either MlimiPay or technology advancements in agriculture. All right, so our guest is here. Finally, welcome, Stanislaus. So we've been here for a few minutes. I was just asking the guests if they know about MlimiPay or if they've heard about any technology advancements in agriculture at the moment. So I just got a few responses. So not to keep the people waiting, we could just
Yeah,
get into it now. So
yeah.
welcome,
Thank you very
welcome to
much.
you, and
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm seeing at my
no
office,
problem.
but when I was setting up everything else, I ESCOM decided to do its own thing. So I had to pack my thing then to come back home as early as possible. So yeah, so that's why I'm a little bit late.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah.
So without much, let's just get into it. So, thank you to everyone who's joined in today, and thank you so much, Stanislaus, for being with us today.
Thank you.
So, as we talked about, today's topic is gonna be on on Agri-Tech, specifically with MlimiPay. So the guest we have today is Stanislaus Sakwiya, who's the founder of MlimiPay. So we're gonna get to learn more about it and even more about his journey as the founder. So let's just get into it now. Could you give us just a bit of an introduction, something about yourself, your background, and exactly what you're doing at MlimiPay at the moment?
All right, thank you very much. My name is Stanislaus. I'm the founder and managing director of MlimiPay Limited. So actually, I have a bachelor's degree in computer science. Yeah, out of computer science, what actually I do, I'm a software engineer. So almost, not almost, but all the technologies which we are using at MlimiPay, they are in-house. So we have not sourced anything from anywhere else. So once we want anything else, it's something which we build in-house. So anything, the technologies we are using, whatsoever, I'm the guy behind those technology. But as of now, I'm not actually as a software engineer there. I'm the managing director.
All right, great. So you've mentioned MlimiPay. You're telling us everything that you're using is built in-house. So could you tell us a bit more about MlimiPay? What exactly it is, what exactly it's doing? And as we've said, today's topic is on agriculture technology.
Mm.
So how exactly is MlimiPay a key player in agri-tech in Malawi at the moment?
All right, thank you very much. Let me pay you is a digital saving and the input distribution platform, which we are targeting the unbanked and the vulnerable rural smallholder farmers. So, like here in Malawi, we can't talk anything else. But the thing which we have to talk first, especially when in the lives of the rural smallholder farmers, we have to talk about seed and fertilizer. So when you talk about seed, we're talking about maize seed. So yes, we do agriculture, but uh, I can say I can say 90% or 80% of our agriculture we have to plant maize. But we find that like in the rural areas, which is also where there is a quite large number of our population, the process of them to buy these inputs is still quite hard, even though the cost of these inputs they are going up each and every day. Some 3 years ago, a bag of fertilizer was 21,000, but as of now, as we are saying, it's around 155,000. So I find that on an average, if a farmer wants to grow maize, maybe on an acre, he he needs 2 bags of fertilizer and seed, which is around uh, which is 10 kgs. So it's 2 bags of maize and 10 kgs of seed. So you find that only fertilizer is costing the farmer somewhere around 300,000. So let's get into for like from Sidico for 10 kgs for a piece of land as of now it's around 103, if not 101,000, which it's around 500,000. So when the rainy season is approaching, it's almost impossible to tell that a little smallholder farmer can release close to 500,000 for them to purchase these inputs. So that's why we as MlimiPay, we come in. We have a digital saving platform which we allow these farmers to put their money as to buy, but in form of savings. Then we as MlimiPay, we do all the hard stuff like integrating with the mobile money, then the banks behind, talking with the agro dealers. So they use our platform, or once they use our platform to save for the inputs, once they have reached their target savings, they visit those agro dealers and they redeem those inputs. So instead of them releasing that 500,000 at once for a particular season, they are given a period which they have to be saving that money. Yes, in short, they are buying, but it is going as in a saving way. Yeah. So once they have reached that, they go there and redeem. Then we as MlimiPay, we release the funds to the agro dealers. So somehow they are not also allowed to withdraw the funds using our platform. So we are like somehow trying to teach them to be committed to their goals. So it's like a committed savings. So a farmer can be saying that I have 100,000, even if funeral come, they will not be allowed to withdraw that money. They have to be committed to their goals. So instead of getting back their cash, they're going to have the farm inputs equivalent to the money which they have saved on our platform.
All right. So what you're telling me is you're like more like a fixed deposit account that you're not allowed to withdraw from for any reason until you the only way the money comes out is if they're making a purchase at an agro dealer.
Exactly. So they have a lot of options, but if they are on MlimiPay, that is the only way how they can get back their money. It's only through the farm inputs.
All right. So as I've gotten to see MlimiPay and how you're implementing some of your services, I've seen a few of the
Yeah.
things that you're doing online, but I'd like to know more from you, like what apart from the savings, apart from being the savings kind of tool that they can use, what other services do you give to these farmers? Do you give them any sort of do they have any like financial lessons, any, I don't know, financial management lessons, anything else that you teach them, or anything else that MlimiPay is delivering as a service to these farmers apart from just being more of like a go between them and the agro dealers as well as a savings platform?
Yeah. Okay. Apart from the savings which we are offering to these farmers, we are also offering. We have also other farmers which we call it mlimi fees. So mlimi fees is actually an additional service which we understand would be like in the rural areas. Uh, it's still the same money. The same money they have to buy farm inputs. The same money they have to buy food. The same money they also have to pay fees for their students. So that's why we are for their kids. So, which is also it has been a problem among a lot of farmers, and it was quite challenging for them to send back their children to school. So, we as MlimiPay, we also have another product which we call as Mlimi Fees, where these farmers they contribute 60% of the fees. We as MlimiPay we top up the 40%. Then they are given 4 months to pay back our 40%, but without interest. But that is just an additional service which is offered after they are saving for the farm inputs. So we also offer the financial literacy training because at least they have to understand what they are doing, what is the saving, and what are we trying to achieve. When we say that this is a committed saving, what is it all about? So we also train them how to use mobile phones. We have quite a large number of farmers who don't know how to use the phone because just saying hello is not enough. But a lot of them they don't know how to use the phone. They can't even send money. Even if an SMS come, they have to tell someone else, no, you have to can you read what that SMS is saying? So we also have those trainings. So through also the partners which we are having, apart from offering them the savings for the farm inputs, we also give them we call it extension services. There's a very big gap in the areas. I think, according to statistics, if I'm not wrong, they say that one government extension worker, instead of helping, I think it's like 1,000 farmers. Now they have more than 5,000 farmers, which is quite challenging. So yes, we can help them to save for the farm inputs. They can receive the farm inputs at the right time. But once they are back in their fields, if they are still doing what they know, it's still a challenge. They will not harvest as what was intended to happen. So we also offer them the extension services, which we tell them when to apply fertilizer, how is about spacing whatsoever. So apart from offering them the savings, we also offer them the agriculture extension. We also offer them other services like the MLIMI fees. So this year we wanted to roll out insurance, but we are having some challenges with it. But I think if everything goes well, yeah, it will going to happen. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, you've spoken about working with seed distributors, even the extension services
Yeah.
that you are providing to these farmers. So, I wanted to know more about your team. Do you have a diverse team? Is it a team that is full of computer scientists like yourself? Or are you working with people who also have a background in agriculture extension, even people who know seed sciences and all these things to kind of create like a full package for the farmers so that you don't have to outsource, as you said, everything that you do is built in-house. So how exactly is your team kind of built to know like what type of skills are in your team that allow you to be able to give all these services to farmers?
Okay. At MlimiPay, we have, I think I'm the oldest person in the room. I'm the oldest. This year I will be clocking 29. Yeah, but I'm the oldest. So I did computer science. So we have the accounts guy, the one who is responsible making sure our books are looking good. Then the operations manager. She's also an engineer. She did computer engineering. We also have a software engineer. She also did engineering. So in short, uh, it's a team of yes. I can say it's diverse, but it's a team of very few people, but almost everyone else. It's yeah, he's doing what he's doing as based on the logo. But we are doing that for a reason. We are a startup. So sometimes for us to look for people who are perfect for that job, it's quite expensive. So sometimes it's easier to train someone else than to look who is already trained. So as for the operations manager, besides that she did engineering, she's doing well in her role. I did not do business administration, but I'm the managing director. I think I'm also doing well if you have survived for 4 years. So I think, yeah, I'm doing my job well. Yeah. But it's a very small team, and I am the oldest person in the room.
All right. Okay. So apart from just your team, what other kind of ecosystem players are you connected with? Like, is it just your team, or have you been able to work with maybe government organizations, private companies to make MlimiPay kind of reach where it has reached when it comes to reaching out to these smallholder farmers?
Yeah, okay, for agriculture projects, you can't just start working. Yeah, you can say, no, no, I found the village, so I want to go there. So there's always those structures within the Ministry of Agriculture where you have to go to the ADDs, you do your presentations, then you tell them the type of farmers which you want to work with, or maybe the areas which you want to implement your project. Then they have to tell you that, okay, for those type of farmers which you are looking for, they are here. So in short, we before everything else, we had to start talking with the government. Even though when we were starting in 2021, we did not know all those structures. So we had to go back when we have already started. Yeah, and then after we did that, they had to tell us, and all these are the type of the farmers which you are looking for. Then after that, it's when we also started working with other private companies. Like as of now, like in the past 3 years, as MlimiPay, we were actually also like operating as an agro dealer, where when these farmers have saved, we have to talk with the seed suppliers. Then we have to get the seed. We have to deliver, which was quite challenging and quite tiresome. But it has been this year which we have made a partnership with Farmers World through Farm Service Units, where now these farmers are just using our platform to save, but all those inputs. Collection or distribution whatsoever, it will be done through Farmers World with the partnership which we have done with FSU. Yeah. So I think that it has somehow simplified how we have been operating in the past 3 years.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So Can you maybe just walk me through the process? Like, are you approaching these farmers or are they coming to you? And how do you determine a farmer who is kind of eligible to go through the process with MlimiPay? Is there anything that you look at? Maybe their financial history, like their spending history, or even the money that they're making or the profits they're making from the sales of their crops? What exactly is the criteria that you follow when you're choosing these users for your service?
Okay, the criteria which we're using is not that it is that much special. It is just what is part of the mission why we started MlimiPay, because we work with farmers who are far from trading centers or hard to reach areas. Yeah, so those are the two types of farmers. Because if a farmer is far from a trading center, which means is that sure that we are sure that that farmer doesn't have a bank account. And if the farmer is also far from trading centers, that farmer is also a victim of the counterfeit fertilizers or seed, because they are far from trading centers. If a farmer is in a hard to reach area, it's obvious that farmer maybe has not visited a bank. If a farmer is in a hard to reach area, it's also a victim of the counterfeit seed or fertilizer. So those are the types of farmers which we are looking for. So even if when you're talking with the government, maybe we are, let's say maybe we want to go to Gates. So yes, we'll go with all the government structures, but the type of farmers which we're going to ask them is the farmers of that nature, even though they are quite expensive to service those farmers. So once we do that with the agri extension workers and support maybe from the partners, we these the IDOs, the accession workers, they help us to identify those farmers by calling the meetings. Then we go and we sell what we are offering. So we find that a lot of farmers are interested because they are seeing that our model is very easy, somehow cheaper. Yeah.
Okay, so so far, how many farmers have you managed to work with since you began onboarding farmers on your platform?
We have actually worked with more than 5,000 farmers, but we have started doing the registration again, especially like this year, because we did a mistake. I think it was 2 years ago. We did a mistake. We were also trying to work with the government farmers under the Affordable Input Program (AIP). Yeah. So even the subsidy, if you find that the fertilizer it's 15,000, 2 bags it's 30,000. But when the subsidy thing has come, we find that the farmer doesn't even have 30,000 a while. So what happens is the farmer approaching you, telling, no, you know what, I have the ID, but I don't have the money. So can you pay the money? Then we're going to share the fertilizer, 1 bag, 1 bag. So those are some of the kind of the models which work. So we saw that there's also an opportunity where we can be helping these farmers to save money for the AIP program. So when the program has come, we'll talk with the Minister of Agriculture side that we have these farmers, they have already saved it, and they're already in clubs. Please assist them. But what we realized that it was somehow like a loophole. We had a lot of vendors in our system, which we are not actually farmers. So we had to start doing the registration. But we have worked with the more than 5,000 farmers. So as of now we are working with those who are indeed farmers.
All right. Okay. Thanks. So, when we look at Malawi, just the way things are going, when it comes to money, there's like things like inflation and stuff. So, how are you kind of protecting these farmers from risks such as those when it comes to the savings? Because as you said, they save the money and they're not allowed to spend it, or they cannot spend it until they can afford the next like inputs for the next season. So, how are you protecting these farmers from risks such as those?
Yeah, I think that has been one of our biggest challenge, because like when we were starting, I think I already mentioned that like that time a bag of fertilizer was somewhere around 18, 21,000. The same 50 kgs back. But in the past 4 years, how our economy has behaved, it wasn't that much good. So it has been quite challenging. But what we have been doing is we have been trying to work directly with the seed suppliers. Like example, like Sidico, there is an element where you can, as an agro dealer, you can pay in advance. So that paying in advance, what actually means, it's you are locking the price. So yes, there can be some changes of the prices, but today, if I've paid 10 million kwaja to CD one this, and that is for maybe 100 kgs of maize, example, I will still have that on the same price. So that mechanism has helped us, but it has only worked to the side of the seed. But for fertilizer, because we don't make fertilizer here in Malawi, so it is always about importing whatsoever. It has been quite challenging. So the models which we have been working, we have just been telling the farmers, you know what, we are assuming that this coming season, through our research with the suppliers, fertilizer maybe will be at 85,000. So we are not saying that fertilizer will be 85,000, but for this particular season, you will save 85,000. So if there will be an increase, you have to add more money. If the fertilizer will go down, which means we as MlimiPay, we are owing you money. So from the seed side, we have been safe, but from the fertilizer side, we have never been safe. So it was just an element where yes, you just have to put your money, but we don't know what we're going to happen. If you have already saved the 80,000, fertilizer 100,000, at least you are safe. Safe. You just have to add 20,000 instead of looking for the whole 100,000. So that has been quite challenging to us. But from the seed side, we have been safe through that model.
All right. So I think one of the other challenges that we have in Malawi is digital literacy. So I understand that you have a USSD code where I think that's good compared to just a fully online solution
Yeah.
because there's not much adoption of internet in Malawi, especially in the rural areas.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know like how exactly like is it difficult or like is it an easy process to train the farmers to use the USSD codes? And I also see that you have a POS system that you use. Do you like train them specifically on how to use that? Is that just how is it when you use your solutions when you think about the digital literacy levels in Malawi?
Okay. Here in Malawi, I can say that as USSD is a king. So when I say USSD is the king, is something which it will take years to be replaced, especially like here in Malawi. Similar like uh, to radio technology, which even if today we have Spotify whatsoever, but we can't say that people they have stopped listening to radio. So that is similar to USSD. So even us as MlimiPay during our early days, we thought that after building the USSD, we have killed it. But what we realized when we were on the ground with the farmers, we realized that they don't even have SIM cards. So yes, we are building the USSD, which they can work on every phone, but meeting the farmers, they don't even have SIM cards. So that reason is we realized that there is actually no SIM card ownership in the rural areas. So once a farmer has lost the phone number today, he will not replace it. He will just buy another one. And if a farmer has a phone today, once hunger strikes, he will not hesitate to sell that phone. So I cannot say that these people they don't have mobile phones. Yes, they have, but it's like a luxury they cannot afford. So the moment there is hunger or anything else, you find that the phone is gone. So we realize that besides building the USSD platform for them maybe to be making the deposit, checking the balances, but what we realize in our system, because we have also our agent of networks, which we understand that there are those farmers who doesn't even know how to download the phone, but they also have to be someone else who has to be helping them. So they work with those agents. So what we realize that a lot of farmers they take advantage of the agents. So our model is similar like to the way it is with the mobile money payment systems, where if you have a hard cash and you're looking for electronic value, you visit the agent. I have 5,000. I'm looking for electronic value. So we borrowed like the same concept. So what we realized that 95% of our USSD sessions, they are coming from the agents, not from the customers. They are coming from the agents, not from the customers. And we realized that close to 90% of the farmers' accounts, they are able to close those accounts in time. So we realized that our farmers, they actually don't care about our technology. They are just caring about the value which they are getting on our platform. But the common, like the one who is like an engine on our platform, it's not actually us as ourselves, but they are the agents, because all the deposits, as 90% of the deposits which these farmers make, they don't make through their mobile phones. They are making through the agents. So it's something else which we realized later. So, but we realized that at this point now, I think we just have to stop innovating for the farmers. Let's innovate more for the agents. So that's why we have introduced the POS machine, which is now, it's like, in short, it's the MlimiPay Android app. So instead of us building those apps for those farmers, we have just built that Android app for the agents. So in short, it's like those POS machines, they are like ATM machine for the farmers. So we have also removed the element of forcing these farmers to have the mobile phones. We have introduced we are calling it Mlimi NFC card, which they are like e-voucher, electronic vouchers. So if a farmer wants to check the balance, even if he doesn't have the phone, he can just visit any farmer's road branch or through the agent. They will just tap on our POS machine. It will release a receipt. If they want to do anything else, they can use that POS machine through the agent. But all this here has come with the past experience, which you have seen that it's hard to train these people. But what they are caring are going to have fertilizer at the end of the day. So they are not caring about the technology which we are using or how brilliant it is. No, they're only caring that at the end of the season, I'm getting my 2 bags of fertilizer and my 10 kgs of seed. I'm going to go after this. Maybe I'm going to have access to the mini fees where I will put 60%, mini pay will put 40%, then I'll pay them back in 4 months. So the farmers, they're only caring about the value, but not the technology. So that's why we have moved much from the use of the USSD or pushing the farmers, adding more features for them. No, we are just building good saving products. As of now, we are able to create any type of bundle a farmer is looking for. I'm looking for 5 kgs of seed, maybe Ganyani. Then I want 777 from Monsanto. I want 25K. So we can bundle anything else what the farmer wants, but we are not innovating for the farmers. Now we are putting much innovation for the agents, which they are like at the engine of our growth.
All right. I think now I should give an opportunity to the audience. If anyone has questions, if they could post them in the chat. If anyone has questions, just post them in the chat as I also continue to ask my questions. So that's actually very good. But then, as I was speaking about challenges, I think the other challenge that we see when we speak about the digital divide is the gender digital divide. So when you're recruiting farmers, like, have you seen a significant difference in the amount of women as compared to men that you register?
Yeah, a lot of farmers on our platform, they are women, but I think, yeah, I will still go put it somewhere as culture. One thing which I've realized is there was a point where we're trying to offer feature phones to these farmers. So we're saying that if you're buying maybe a package of fertilizer, we also bundle it with a phone, because we want you to be receiving the transaction SMSs, but you can also check weather. But what we realize that when we offer these mobile phones to women, The next time we will be coming, we find that they don't have the phones. So when we asked why, we were told that our husbands, they don't allow us to have the phones. They have now the phone belongs to the husband. When I ask why, they are saying that admudzi vangazibwezi adzimai avangazibwezi akakhala ali ndi mafoni. So we realize that there's that element, there's that element which is culture there. One other thing which we realize is that there's also element where Anna, like the family, it's owned by the woman, not the man. So these women, they don't have option. So always when they have money, they have to make sure that I have to buy fertilizer, I need to have food this year. Otherwise, if I'm not going to do this, then I will die with hunger. So we find that yes, men they are there, but like they are not that much active. Or even when we try to meet these farmers, we find that the attendance for men is very low. A lot of them they are women. So it's still going to still the same element where these women they know that we are now in the hunger. I don't have an option. I just have to buy fertilizer, and this is the simplest model which I think I can manage to pay 150,000 a water in small increments, not as at once. So at least, or if I want to manage as one bag of fertilizer, it's enough. Maybe I can try to grow maize for that particular season.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have a question from one of the members of the audience. I'm just gonna post it on the screen. So yeah, the question says, with the integration of agents, what measures are in place to help protect against exploitation of farmers and mobile fraud? I think this is kind of in reference to what happens usually with Airtel Money agents, that they're usually going through all these fraud kind of attempts, people trying to steal from them, saying, "Oh, this person sent money" and stuff. So, is there
Yeah.
anything that you have in place to protect against that type of fraud?
Okay, true. Yeah, okay. What we do besides even a farmer doesn't have a phone, so on MlimiPay they use a phone number as an account number. But our system it's able to generate the account numbers. But knowing the nature of these people, even if we give them the account number, they will be calling us every day. What's my account number? So it's quite challenging. So what we do, we tell them to get a phone number from anyone whom they trust from home, or maybe it's a child or the husband. So they use that phone number as an account. So on each and every transaction the farmer is making through the agent, if the farmer cannot use his or her own phone, but they want to do the deposit through the agent, we are able to send the SMS to that phone number. So we have also come to realize that there can be some elements where maybe there's a network problems whatsoever. So that's why we have pushed with the POS machines. So it's similar to the way when you're in these big shops, when you have made the payment with your card, every time the POS machine has to release a receipt, which is telling how much money has been debited in your account. So when they are making these deposits through these agents, the POS machine automatically releases a receipt to that particular farmer. So we tell that these farmers, you know what, before you go, if you have not received the SMS, request for the receipt and make sure the money which is getting on the receipt, it has to be the money which you have you have given the farmer. Yeah, but somehow some of the agents which we are also taking advantage, we take advantage of agents which are already mobile money agents, because it's easy in element of liquidation, because once they are making these deposits through those mobile money agents, it's like MlimiPay, it's offering them the hard cash, then them they will be just transferring their electronic value into our merchant account. So we are able to do with that through the SMS and the receipts.
Okay, so we actually have a follow-up question. I'm also gonna put that one up. So this question says, what's the observed order delivery time, that is from ordering to delivery, and what logistical challenges exist?
Okay, I think this I have to go back as the way which the way we have been working like in the past where MlimiPay was also like an agro. So it, it was quite hard for us to do that because after doing the savings, so we also have to prepare how are we going to move the inputs to change, how are we going to move the inputs in Mitundu in Lilongwe? How are we going to move the inputs in Doha? So it was quite challenging for us, especially when the rains have also started, and there have been other seasons like last year. There was the scarcity of the seed, which even Sidiko was also importing seed from Zimbabwe itself. So we were having those challenges. So uh, we the only solution which we had to do to solve that logistic and the distribution challenge was where we had to push the partnership with Farmers World. Farmers World here in Malawi, they have around 134 branches. In Central Region, they have around 33 branches. So as of now, we have pushed that burden to Farmers World. So almost every season, Farmers World have seed. And what Farmers World is looking for at the end of the day, they are looking for money for people to buy their seed. So now MlimiPay has come in with those farmers. They say, okay, you know what, Farmers World? Yes, yes, we want to sell the seed, but we already have the farmers, and this is the quantity. So for this particular year, we have solved that challenge in that way through the partnership with already existing agro dealers in areas where our farmers are. So it's just an element of telling that particular branch in advance that we have also number of farmers, and these are the types of inputs which they are looking for. Then we have to submit to them. Then to them they will do like what they have to do. Then those farmers, they can now visit those branches to redeem those inputs. But in the past years, we had to do all that job on our own, and the places which we were delivering most of the time were schools and football grounds. But for this particular year, they will be actually be walking into a shop for them to redeem those inputs.
Just posted in the comments as well, and I'm gonna bring it up. So I think I've asked a bit about the challenges that you have faced, but there's still more I would like to know, especially when it comes to infrastructure, like how how was the process for you in setting up things like the USSD code? How was the process for you? And if you faced any, I don't know, bureaucratic red tape, things like those when it came to you setting up the USSD codes. But for now, I would love for you to tell us of what are like the major successes that you've had with the farmers, and like what are the stories out there from the farmers when they talk about MlimiPay?
Okay. I think before I talk about the success stories, one thing which I've learned in the past 4 years is what you have promised the farmer, you have to deliver the exact thing, and I think you also have to add uh, some salt to it, because if you mess up with a farmer this season, the other season that farmer is not coming back. So besides that, in the past 4 years, we have been successful, but we have also had those challenges where maybe we had to deliver those inputs late. So yes, it's late, but we found that the challenges there are the logistical. We can't find seeds at right time, or maybe for us to move that. There was this other season uh, when it was approaching, and there was also fuel problems where the only way for you to have diesel, you have to go on the black market. So it's something which you do not expect. It's not that it is a devaluation, but there's no fuel. But the farmers, they are calling you that the rains have started here. It has been quite challenging. So in the 2021, when we were studying, we wanted to do the pilot with 50 farmers, only 50 farmers, but we ended up saving 156 farmers, which I can say we doubled the number, and we delivered, but there's nothing which we did as a company, because it was actually we, as in terms of money that has profit whatsoever, we were just trying to prove the concept. But we see that the farmers, they have indeed received it. In the other season, we moved from 154 farmers. We saved the one. I think there were 1,050 farmers. Now we expanded into three more villages in that same particular area. So which was also very successful. As moving from 100 farmers, the other season you were now servicing 1,000 farmers. So every time the farmers have to call you, you have this problem. Yes, yes, it's part of growth, but it has been like that. In the other year, we did not go ahead because I've said that we we started by breaking the law. Sometimes I think we just have to break the law. Started by breaking the law. It's when the ministry had to call us. Know what you guys, what you're doing, it's not making sense somehow, or maybe you can steal from the farmers. So you had to come. So in 2023, we did not operate because of that. So it was also a year where we had to go back to look at our systems, to to get prepared. So that whole year, 2023, we did not operate. In 2024, we only worked with the 100 farmers. So I think we had to go back to uh, the drawing board. So we had to work with the, I think it was 100 farmers. Yeah, 100 farmers, but it happened with support from the Catholic relief services. So after that, it's when we are coming to this year, when now we have sorted everything else and we have solved all the challenges which we have faced in the past 3 years. Then now we have pushed that distribution challenge to Farmers World, where now we are just encouraging those farmers to save. We are offering the POS machines to those agents. They are onboarding the farmers, they are collecting the savings. Then later, we are pushing the funds to Farmers World for them to do that. But still that we have also been recognized by banks like Standard Bank. I think in 2022, MlimiPay was we received an award as a run-up as in fintech category. Are you there? I think. Uh, yeah, you are back.
Yes, I'm back.
Yeah. Yeah, so in 2022, we were also recognized by National Bank. We come up second in the Malawi ICD Innovation Awards, which we received an award as one of the best fintech companies. We have also there was also this other competition with GIZ. They were calling it Agri-Pitch Agri-Pitch competition, where we emerged as number, is it number two or number three? I think we emerged as number three, and it was that time when GIZ invited me in German to represent MlimiPay at a startup Connect Week. That it was in 2023. Yeah, so I had to tell the MlimiPay story somewhere else. Yeah, because of that opportunity. So last year we also got luck. Where we received some from support, which we received $10,000 from Catholic Services. For there was this other project which they're calling it Malawi Food Crisis Fund. So we are also encouraging farmers to do farming twice a year. Yeah, so we offered them irrigation savings products where they were saving for early mature seed. It was still also the same way where we were shortlisted as they call it Timbuktu fintech accelerator, which we had to go to Nigeria. So here in Malawi, we were two companies which were successful. So they called 43 startups across Africa. Yeah, yes, I think we were 43. Yes, I think yeah, we were for the three. If not, if yes, we were for the three startups. We went to Lagos, so it was also something else which, after telling our story, they had to say that these people, they are doing great things. Yeah, so we were also recognized by UNDB. So this year, actually, we are here in Malawi, but we are also working with one of very big organization, which is Opportunity International Malawi, which I think most of them, they know them as OIBM. They were the owners of Opportunity Bank of Malawi. Yeah, so we are also working with them like on a parallel program, which we are also doing with the Farmers World, where we are we are testing the models where at first they were offering those farmers loans, but they were also trying to test to see if indeed farmers they can save. There are different models which we are trying there. There's other models where farmers are saving 100%, some they are saving 70%, and then we are putting the 30% somewhere as a loan. So it's just an element where we are trying to test those things. So recently, we also got lucky where we emerged as number two in at the first IUT Malawi 2025, where we emerged as number two as the in-market innovation with the MlimiPay. So yes, so that MlimiPay actually, if you think of it as an ATM machine, but which is a pocket ATM machine, which the farmers there in the areas they can the farmers in the areas they can check their balances, they can do whatsoever. Or what we're just trying to do now, we're just trying to innovate more on those POS machines because we want to the current POS machines we have, they don't support the fingerprint. So we know that instead of giving them PIN code, we want to be using the fingerprint as a proof of life. So if a farmer wants to redeem the farm inputs or maybe want to do anything else, if that wants to happen, the farmer has to put a finger. So then it will go to work. So I think with that 10 million waja which we have received from Ayude, we want to push to advance or what we are offering to those farmers. As I've already said that we are not innovating for the farmers anymore. We're innovating for the agents. So those PS machines, yes, they are used by the farmers, but they are not built for them as the farmers, uh, but for the agents. So it's just an element of just trying to ease our job because it has been quite challenging in the past. I think is yeah, you are back. Or maybe I was the one who was.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I'm having some network challenges, but you can proceed.
So this year that's also it's when we have also get luck with the IoT. So we are expecting to use that money for the trainings of at most it's just for the acquisition of the agents, which they will be deployed in those farmers world branches. As the farmers world now it is solving our logistical and the input distribution problem which we have had in the past 3 years. So part of that money we are also going to use that, but we also want to advance our POS machine technology where instead of offering them PIN numbers, which as the way we are doing now, if they want to redeem, they will be using their fingerprint as proof of life. So, but those POS machines, they are quite expensive. So, yeah. So, as part of that money, we want to try that technology, and maybe if we get luck, yeah, we'll see where it's going to take us. Besides that, we have also been successful this year after applying for 4 years for the growth accelerator. So the growth accelerator, they introduced that where they are calling for tech companies. So I think maybe in the past years, MlimiPay was not able to beat the guys who make Zikolopa and the yogurt whatsoever, because those are the businesses which it makes more sense in the eyes of these judges. So we were not successful, but this year with this call which they were calling for technology companies, we have been successful. So we are working very hard for us to be successful, at least to have part of that 40,000 US dollars, which actually what we didn't want to do. We still want to put much in the innovation, especially the advancement of that POS machine. Yeah.
All right. Um, I don't see any more questions in the comments, but because of time as well, I just want to thank you so much for all the things you've told us and the exciting things that MlimiPay is doing and all the achievements that you've garnered so far. I'm just gonna ask like one last question, like
Yeah.
apart from the things that you've already said, like
Mm.
what's the one thing that you're very excited about when it comes to the tech industry here in Malawi? Like, what are you seeing for us in the near future? Even something that's just exciting you, like, oh, I think this is the direction that we're headed.
I think I think we are going there, but the problem which I've seen in Malawi is a lot of companies that don't trust that we here in Malawi can do, because I've been in meetings with a lot of people saying that there's no way you guys you can build something like this. So which means they believe yes, the thing can be done, or it maybe can be done in Kenya, or maybe can be done somewhere else, but not here in Malawi. Like somehow I'm actually enjoying like what Nohata is doing with Page Yangu. It's something else which we as here in Malawi have been seeing having maybe as in other countries, but to seeing that those things now they're happening in Malawi they take here in Malawi it's in the right direction. Maybe it's just uh, the support from the government or the development organization to trust that here in Malawi indeed we have those people who can do those things, but we are in the right direction.
I think you got cut up a little.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm saying that we are in we are in the right direction, because I've seen some people also who are also in the same tech sector who are doing their brilliant things, and most of the time those things, these banks, these MNOs, they were thinking that they cannot be done here in Malawi. And seeing that those indeed those people, they are Malawians who are doing that, is somewhere which we are indeed in the right direction. But it's just element of getting support from those banks, those organizations, even the government itself. Because sometimes another thing which I've noticed, the problem it also come from the government. You find that the person whom you are trying to tell what you are doing, he was already a civil servant when Camus was alive. So he doesn't even know how to use the PC. He thinks that what like what I'm saying somehow it's lavish, but it's making sense. But with him, because maybe he's old, yeah. So, but seeing that maybe like some of those positions now they're being occupied by the young generation, maybe it will be easy for some of these things to take shape. But as a country, we are in the right direction. It's just having maybe with a few some regulations here and there. Yeah, but yeah, we are there.
All right. So thank you so much again for this insightful session. I think because of time now we have to stop. But thank you so much for being my guest and just answering some of the questions that some of us had concerning MlimiPay. It's exciting to see that you are implementing these technologies in agriculture, especially working with smallholder farmers in the rural areas, things that some people think are not possible. You are showing us that, oh, this can actually be done and it can actually be done in this way. So I just want to thank everyone else for attending as well. Yeah, thank you again. And thank you for sharing MlimiPay with us. So until next time, thank you so much.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.